All right, welcome to the Monday evening yoga class. We're getting started and I'm going to have to move the dog. We're opening up wide this way on our mats. So let's get started. Hey, Marty. Good job. You got to move. All right, so we're opening up wide. And you're going to turn your heels in and then drop down through your knees. Bend nice and slow. We're going to lift up, just opening up the arms. So open up. And then release down. Nice and slow. We want to take it slower and be a little bit more deliberate because we're working with the subtle forces of Vata, and we want to calm the Vayus. They're called the Vayus. We want to encourage more of Apana Vayu, which is downward movement. It's going to help us feel more grounded, calm, and because it's evening, we want to have a practice that helps sleep. So inhale up, and then you're going to bring your hands up. Turn your right heel out and then bend the knee and shift down. Pause there. Now you can either hold it there or see if you can lift your opposite leg toes up. It's really up to you. You don't have to do it. You can keep your toes down. Good. And then coming up, reach. You're going to switch to the other side, which means you have to adjust your heel. Drop down. Holding it there, or see if you can take that extended leg and lift those toes. And then coming up, we're going to do it again. Up, reach. Now interlace your fingers, push up. Open up the whole back, the whole front body, and then release. Turn your palms and go down. See if you can go a little bit lower this time. And then lift your toes. Interlaced fingers, then come back up. Reach, you're opening up the front of the body, releasing the shoulders, and then going to the other side. Extended leg, lift your toes. Ah, nice. And then reach back up. So we have a little bit of an add-on. Reach. Down, hold it there, lift your toes. That's optional. Good, and then you're going to release your hands. Open up right from that position, reach, and then we're going to turn. Bend the knee and come up. Scoop up, hold it there. So it's like an angled warrior one. Release down, come back to the center, up, interlace your fingers, reach, drop to the other side. Lift your toes if you can. Then reach up. You're going to turn, release, bend, come up. Warrior one. Hold it. Good, and then from there, we release back down. Inhale up through the center. Exhale, release down. Inhale, come back up. Turn, exhale down. Inhale, reach, hold, open. Open the chest. Then drop your arms behind you. Turn your thumbs down. Interlace your fingers. Try to release the chest, release the shoulders, squeezing those shoulder blades together and lift your arms up. And then release. Come back up. Interlace, reach, drop to the other side. Come back up, reach, turn, down. Scoop those arms up. Warrior one. Release your arms, turning your thumbs down, interlace your fingers. up. Again, open the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together, loosen up those shoulders. And then release, coming up, turning to the center, release back down, and then we're gonna scoop back up. Go back down. 2 more, up and down. 1 more, up. And now we're gonna drop our arms into warrior 2, opening up. Hold. Then turning that right hand, lift. Reach, turn your head and look up. Release down. And then coming back to the center, scoop back up. Drop to the other side, warrior 2, hold. Look down that middle left finger. Turning that palm, reach. Remember, we're holding these poses. Be steady. Turn your head, look up at that arm. And then release. Inhale, turning your heels in. Good, now you're gonna reach across. I want you to turn your right heel out. You're gonna reach across, drop down. Then slight bend to that knee, come back up, reach. Other hand comes across and reach. Come back up. Again, reaching across. Now you can reach as close to that right foot as you can, or use a block. That works. You can use a block. Come back up, reach. And rotate to the other side. Take it closer to the foot. Good, and lift back up, reach. 1 more time, reaching across. And release, come back up. And reach across. Come back up. Good, we're gonna take our hands to the right. Bend the knee. Come back up into warrior 1. Then release down and step back, plank, hold. Hold plank. Nice and slow. You can modify to the knees if you need to. Lower. Then lift up cobra, pause. Kick it back, down dog. And then the right leg steps forward. Drop your back heel. And then come up into a modified Parsvakonasana. Side angle. Then reach up. Lift. And drop to the other side. Bend the knee. Reach up, warrior 1. Then the hands come down, step back, plank, hold. So the left leg steps back, hold, steady and strong. Now you can modify the knees if you need to. Then slowly lower. Lift up Ujjanasana. Pause, hold it there, drop your shoulders, bend your elbows. Press back, down dog. Left leg steps forward, drop your back heel, and then again, you're going to come up into a modified Parsvakonasana. Side angle. Good, and then reach up, right hand comes up, and then go across the body. Sorry, left hand. And then reach back up, you're going to that right leg. And then right hand goes to the left leg. Now from here, you're going to rotate right over to a high lunge on the right. Step back. Hold again that plank strong and steady because that's what Vata needs. Vata's scattered. Vata's all over the place. Vata doesn't have a container. We're creating strength and stability. Lower. Lift. Back, down dog. Then that right leg steps forward. Again, drop your back heel and see if you can do Parshvottanasana now with a block or on the floor. Now, if not, you can pop back up on the thigh. That's fine. Then reach up. That right hand now is going to go across and rotate. Reach. Good, and then come back up, scoop up. Left hand goes across, rotate. Now you move to the left side into a high lunge. Step back plank. Hold. Strong, steady. Slowly lower. Lift up Ujjanasana. Take it back, Adho Mukha Savasana. Hold down dog. Good, and then that left leg steps forward, drop your back heel. See if you can try that Parshvottanasana. Hand on the ground or with a block or pop up. Good, then reach up. Left hand now goes across. Hold. Good, and then come back up. Reach. All right, I want you to turn your toes in, pigeon toed. 2 fingers come up. You're going to drop down into a wide-legged forward fold and hold. Grab your big toe. So the way that you grab it is you take 2 fingers in between the big toe, wrap around, and then connect to the thumb. That is how you grab. Good, and then coming back up, rotate to that right side, high lunge, drop your back knee, hold. See if you could go a little lower, dropping down onto a block with your elbows. Or maybe even go lower. Elbows on the ground. Good, and then from there, you're gonna lift up, back leg comes in, drop your back heel, straighten the front leg, and do a forward fold right over that leg. You can use a block. Now you wanna pull the right hip back, left hip forward. So front hip moves back hip moves forward so you can square those hips. So if you're like me and you have an injury, you might need to modify here at the shin or on a block. Or if you don't have a block, stay at the shin and release down. Good, and then from there, release, come up, lift your arms, rotate forward again. 2 fingers, wide-legged, grab between the big toe and the second toe. Grab around the big toe, connect to the thumb. Good, and then from there, we're gonna rotate now to the left. Drop the back knee. And then releasing down onto a block with your forearms. Or you can go to the floor. Oh my God. And then from there, you're gonna lift up, back leg comes in, straighten the front leg, you're taking it into a fold. My dog wants to go under the piano, so I had to fix it. Okay, so remember, you can modify this with a block or hands on the shin. Front hip moves back hip moves forward, square those hips. And then hold, release your head. Good, and then from there, turning forward, again, we're gonna come back up. Reach. Then now we're gonna interlace our fingers behind us, lift them up, turn your toes in, and drop down. Turn your toes in. Good, drop down. Okay, you do wanna release your head. So let go of your head. Great. That looks great, Cheryl. Just want Cheryl to feel encouragement too. Good job. All right, releasing your arms, hands to the ground. Again, we rotate to the right. Back into a low lunge. But this time we add rotation. So you start out with that hand on the ground, turn your torso towards that front leg. Releasing that upper arm, and then we're shifting our weight back. So we're going to do a couple different things. First, we curl our toes under, shift back. Now, if that's not comfortable, you're going to take a block underneath that right hip. Toes are up, and then shift forward. Now, if you can, this is really great for strengthening this back foot. You sit on that heel and then go forward. Very good for strengthening and stretching the feet. Ah. And then we come out of it and shift forward. Now flatten out your foot, which is going to feel like a relief. So you do turn the foot more to the outside edge of your mat, and then shift back and take your butt to the floor on the inside of this back leg. Okay? And then again, we go forward, reach. Now, if you are, so sometimes what happens is we tilt through the pelvis. And I'm going to show you with a blanket how to adjust. So you want to throw a blanket underneath the glutes so that you can get the pelvis even. So here's what it looks like. Take your blanket. If you're tilting, then you want to add a blanket underneath the extended leg. Good. And now you're even, and then go forward. All right. Then from there, you're going to release. Now I'm going to recommend that you pull the blanket out because now we're going back. So you're either going to go back onto a block or two, like this, or you go all the way back. Now move your pelvis over to the others, to the extended leg side of the mat, and then lower. You can add a blanket underneath the extended leg glutes if you need. All right, to come out of this, you take the heel of your hand, press it into the heel of your bent leg, and lift up. Good. Bend that front leg. Now rotate your torso towards the bent leg. Good, and then we shift our weight forward towards that front leg. Shift forward. Good, you're going to straighten out the back leg. Rotate to the other side. Drop into a half lunge. And again, we're going to rotate the torso towards the front leg, either with the hand on the ground, or you can have the hand on the ground and reach, or you can use a block. Here's a block. Good, and then we're going to shift back. And remember, we're starting out, curl your toes under on the back leg. Sit either on the heel or use a block. Sit on the block. Give yourself a little help so it's not so much pressure on that foot. Reach forward. But this is great for your feet. Then shifting out of that, you're going to go forward. Flatten out that foot behind you. Take it more towards the edge of your mat and shift your weight back. Now remember, you might need a blanket to go underneath the extended leg glutes, and that's going to even out your pelvis. You want to make sure your pelvis is even. You're not teetering to one side. Then we go forward. Reach. All right, and then we shift back. So you go back either onto your elbows, and you can hold it there. You could definitely use a block or two. I would definitely use 2 blocks, one on each underneath each elbow. Or all the way down. Then taking the heel of your hand, pressing it into the heel of your foot to lift up. Come all the way up, seated. The extended leg bends. Keep the torso lifted and rotate, twist. Good, and then that leg releases. You're gonna go forward, put your weight into the front leg, extend your back leg, rotate to the front. Turn your heels in and lift back up, reach. And then we're gonna go into Trikonasana to the right. So adjust your feet. So you wanna adjust the right leg heel, line up with the arch of the back foot, and then we lower. Either hand to the shin below the knee or hands on the baby toe side of the foot with or without a block. Make sure your torso is leaning back. Do not get into the habit of leaning forward. There's just a lot of stuff that happens. When you lean forward, here's what happens. You lean forward and then it automatically drops your arm back behind you. So you want to lean back. My camera is having a hard time focusing. You can do it. Lean back. Better to be up a little bit higher so you can lean back. So that if you go down further and it pushes you forward, come up a little bit and lean back. Upper arm comes down. And as you do that, you're going to rotate this back hip forward a little bit. Drop. Forward fold. Bending that knee, coming up. Reach. Back into warrior one. And then release. Go forward. Turning to the other side, reach. Adjust your back heel. Front heel lines up with the arch of the back foot. Lower. Hand below the knee on the shin. Keep the torso back. And if you need to, stay there, lifted. If you're feeling good today and you've got a little more flexibility, then drop to the baby toe side of the foot with or without a block. But stay leaning back. Keep your chin pulled in. Gotta watch the chin. Upper arm is going to come down and rotate this back hip forward. So I like to adjust my back leg out a little bit. Turn the torso towards the front leg. Good, and then we rotate center. Turn your heels in and come back up. Oh, I know we did warrior one on that side. That's all right. We can go warrior one, I guess. And then come out of it. Okay. Turning your heels out one more time. Toes in. Interlace your fingers behind you. Lift. Lift and then lower. Completely releasing your head. We've got a lot of forward folds in this practice today. Forward folds, they're the go-to poses to encourage more apana, downward force, downward moving forces. So the vayu that moves down is apana. We're encouraging that. Everything we do is influencing the vayus. Right? Everything we do. Okay, so if we're constantly moving and stimulating and stimulating and stimulating, then we're going to notice that in our body, and we're going to have a hard time feeling grounded and calm if you're just constantly moving, stimulated. All right, then release those arms, turn your heels in and come up. Bring your hands together in prayer. Good. And then from there, we're going to take our hands, open them up, and push back. And we're going to go in prayer, but behind us. Here. Try to move the fingers up the back. Oh, I got to get my charger. Move the fingers up the back. Good. And then you're going to rotate to the right and drop. Hold it there. Relax your head. Okay, and then we lift up from that. You rotate to the other side, so you're not done. Rotate to the other side. See if you can move your hands up a little bit further. Elbows back, lower. Relax your head. Good, and then slowly coming out of that, releasing your hands, and then release through your wrists. So you kind of want to rotate, release. Okay, now we're going to go flat on our back on the floor. So we are doing a modified shoulder stand or full shoulder stand. Another way to support sleep and the settling in Vata, shoulder stand. Okay, so if you're modified, you're supporting your low back with your hands. Feet are going to be right above the eyes, not above the head, you guys. Move the feet back, right above the eyes. So that's your modified position. Or you can go into full shoulder stand, Sarvandasana. And then to come out of that, we're going to slowly drop into plow. Feet going to the ground. Now, if you cannot put your feet on the ground, bend your knees. They're going to drop to either side of your head. All right, and then slowly, slowly coming out of that, lift up into bridge. God, that made me cough. Release, right knee comes in, left leg extends, open up to the right side with that knee. Take the leg then across the body. And then release down, push back up into bridge. Lower, left knee comes in, extend your right leg. Open up to the left side. Take it across the body to the right. And then again, lift back up into bridge. Slowly lower. Lift those legs straight up, lower to lift the upper body. One more forward fold. Hold it, drop your head. Good, relax your head and let your elbows release. So relax your arms. Good. You're good, Robin. You can hold on to those feet and then just let your elbows soften. Oh, hello. You coming over? Is that what you think? Okay, and then slowly coming out of that. Lowering, setting yourself up for Shavasana. Doing a little bridge, a little side to side. And then Shavasana. Arms below the heart, palms up. Cover your eyes, make sure you are warm. Okay. And relax. Completely soften the body, let go, feel your connection to the floor. And remember, when you bring your body into stillness and you allow the body to be in that space, just being still settles the mind, settles the body. Everything begins to let go, layer by layer. Good, and then from there, begin to deepen your breath. Allow some movement into your fingers and toes. Slowly roll to your right side and rest there for a moment. Then bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands together, connecting your thumbs to your heart. Close your eyes, keeping the spine lifted. Take a moment to draw your attention into your breath, noticing your inhale, noticing your exhale. Be the witness of the breath. Begin to use the mantra for 1 minute. So on your inhale, hum on your exhale. So hum also is a mantra that further supports Vata. Internally saying so on your inhale, hum on your exhale. And if the mind wanders, bring it back. Every time the mind wanders, just bring it back to the breath, to the mantra, so hum. And may you have a wonderful evening and a peaceful night of sleep. Namaste. Thank you, guys.